Hello again, welcome back to the channel. This is just going to be a chat video today. I thought that we would talk about my toxic workplace. So it's been a year now since I left my job, which I wasn't really enjoying. And for years I said I was going to leave there. Um, I started there in 2014, so quite a long time ago now. And I started there on the night shift, and it was working for a well-known food company. Uh, I started on the night shift there. Everything was all right. It was okay. Done 2 years, and they asked me to move to the day shift. So I then ended up in the freezer. Oh yeah, I got put into a freezer, and which I hated, but when you need the money. So I ended up doing working days in the freezer, and I ended up becoming team leader in there. That was all right, weren't without its challenges. Um, yeah, that was okay. That was fine. But then it more come to an head for me in when was it? Yeah, I was in the freezer, and then when COVID happened, they gave me 11 weeks off. Yeah, that's it, 11 weeks off, and I ended up going into coming back. I was one of the very first at the call back. You know, we need your experience and all that. Anyway, I've gone back, and they then took that chance. Suddenly they went, "Oh, you can do forklift driving and so on. You know what you're doing. We need you to head up our new goods in team." So I ended up. I didn't. I didn't want to do it. I did. I didn't. I didn't really want to leave the job I was doing. But yeah, I ended up heading up this new goods in team, and that was a struggle in itself. They gave me a load of people that had never done any goods in work in their life, no paperwork, and so on. This is what I touched on when I mentioned that last video. What I was on about. It become I had to literally train people up. And one guy didn't have an absolute clue. He was bloody. How old was he? I think he's just retired, so that's how old he is. Longer, difference between me and him. But they brought him in, and they said to me, "Oh, you need to train him." And I was like, "Right." So I trained him. Then suddenly, once I trained him, they said to me, "Oh, is your gaffer? He's now your gaffer." I thought, well, what the hell? Anyway, he was with us for a while, but then he suddenly realised that he couldn't do the job, so they put him backseat, gave him like a pen pushing job, and then I was back in charge. I was always in charge anyway, you know what I mean? I was running the place, like I was running the whole team, and I mean I did have a good bunch of lads. I'll be honest with you. The people I worked with were fine. Their management were absolutely terrible. You know, we had supervisors there. You couldn't you couldn't hardly even approach them. I'll say one of them was decent. We had one that always just said, "Get on with it," you know, no matter what the thing was. We had one who was more interested in shopping and so on than the actual job. And yeah, things things just weren't good there. Really weren't good. But where it really went downhill for me was when they brought in. I don't even. When I think back on it, I think, oh god, how bad it was. Anyway, the main, uh, the main boss of the warehouse, he retired, and he weren't the best, but he did have an idea, kind of like what was going on. And then suddenly we got this idiot, I'll tell you, from I think he come from DHL. He's a university graduate, He's like, oh, all my experience comes from university, And the bloke was an absolute tool, and he kind of he made it clear a lot of the times that he didn't really like me, And yeah, it ramped up even more. They were trying to get us for petty things, constantly criticising us. And although the job was always done, me and my team were absolute rapid. We got things done. We'd be so good that we'd get the work done, and then they'd criticise us for not having anything to do, But where it come to a head for me was, I mean, I was looking around for other jobs, and I wasn't really getting anywhere, but I was still hopeful that something would come up. But yeah, where it come to a head for me was I got set up really, but I got asked to, that guy that I was talking about, the old boy, he said, oh, we've got a meeting with all the management. Can you come? Can you come to speak up for your boys? Although that should have been his job, but he was a total yes man. And I ended up going to the meeting, although I didn't want to, because I weren't even supposed to be there, looking back on it. But what I ended up doing was, all I kept hearing was, he'll do it, on about me. He'll do it, his team will do it. And this idiot sitting next to me, the old boy, yes, he'll do it. And yeah, for me, it's just a joke, absolute joke. Anyway, I've ended up going like, And he said he's looked up for me, that idiot that they brought in charge. And he said, oh, it looks like you got something to say. I say, yeah, I have. And yeah, I've basically ended up saying, not in as nice a way terms, but I said, look, you're shafting me. With a bit of swearing in there. And yeah, the writing was on the wall for me after that. And yeah, literally the guy was hounding me out of there. And it wasn't a pleasant experience. Screaming and shouting at us, literally kept coming down doing spot checks on us. And anything that he found wrong, screaming, shouting. And yeah, in the end I thought, I'm going. And I literally resigned. And I didn't have no other job to go to. So yeah, I was unemployed, but only very momentarily. But the problem was, the job I went to was terrible. Yeah, the first job I went to was terrible. And I only lasted 2 weeks, but fortunately, I came into a new job, and I've been very happy there since. And the message that I'm trying to give is these jobs don't define you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make you. I mean, obviously, people will always say to you, "Oh, don't ever leave till you've got another job." But if you are that miserable, as long as you're not a complete, idiot, then you should be fine. I ended up getting 2 jobs in quick succession, and where I am now is fine. They're nice people as well, but where I was actually making me very miserable. So yeah, all I'd say is if it's not worth it, it ain't worth it. I mean, I gave 10 years of my life to that place. 10 years, you know what I mean? And how was I treated? Literally like nothing. We're all just numbers, aren't we? And it's not worth it if you have to go to a job every day to be miserable. I mean, also another thing was what I'd say with that job. They ended up changing my rota and making me work every Saturday. And where I was working, it was double time on Sundays, and they cut our Sundays in half. Half the year of Sundays off. So think how much money we was losing. But other people in the place on other sections were guaranteed those Sundays. So that's another bit of, toxicity. But yeah, all my message is these jobs don't define you. It is just a job. And your happiness, your well-being, and your mental health are not worth sacrificing for them. So if you are in that situation and you feel that you can't go on with it, then do your very best to get out. Like I say, it worked for me, and I ended up better off for it. So that's just my message. Take it as you want. But where I am now, I'm a lot happier, and yeah, I'll say I gave 10 years of my life, and I look back and I think, for what? You know what I mean? But yeah, take that as you want. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the video today, I'm sorry I rambled on a little bit there, But if you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe and give me a like if you wish. And of course, I will see you on the next one. So I say thanks very much and bye for now.